Hi students, welcome to the TYBSc chemistry class. I hope you all are doing well. Today we will discuss about the basic syllabus of our industrial chemistry. I am going to teach you this subject, that is industrial chemistry, having the subject code 335. What this 335 indicates, that 3 stands for, that is a third year, 3 that is third semester, and that is fifth, it is for the, that is a fifth paper having the name that is industrial chemistry. In that particularly we have to see the 6 topics, and each topic it is allotted, that is 8 lectures, means there are total 48 lectures for this industrial chemistry subject. The name of topics will be, that is first is modern approach to chemical industry, then second one is agrochemicals, the third chapter is, that is manufacturing of basic chemicals like nitric acid, sulfuric acid and ammonia. Fourth one is, that is petrochemicals and eco-friendly fuels. Fifth one is, that is food and starch industry, and the last one is, that is cement and glass industry. There are total 15 marks for this paper. 10 marks will be for the internal assessment and 40 marks will be there, that is a theory paper. Now, by seeing this diagram, what comes to your mind? That this particular picture shows that there is a chemical industry, and these are the, it is an industrial plant. Means we have to see, that is a first chapter syllabus, that is modern approach to chemical industry. That is a topic first. Now we will see the detailed syllabus of modern approach to chemical industry, that is the first topic. In that we have to see the introduction of chemical industry, then basic requirements for chemical industry. Again we have to see the different raw materials which are needed for built up of chemical industry. Then there are two different processes, that is called as a unit process and unit operation. In that particularly we will see, whenever in any chemical reaction or in any process, if there is a chemical change takes place, that particular reaction it is called as a unit process. And if in any process, if there is a physical change takes place, that is called as a unit operation. Example is that whenever we are doing the evaporation technique, that is when water gets evaporated, that is a physical change. But when water is converted into in any chemical, that is called as a chemical change, that is called as a unit process. Next we have to see quality control, quality assurance. These two terms, that is quality control and quality assurance, these are related with the purity of the product. Then process control. What this process control indicates? This control means these are having the effect of different variables like pressure, temperature. Now in continuation of this, that is the next terms are the research and development. Have you heard these terms before? That is R&D. Whenever in any industry you have to do the job, this particularly these two terms are used, that is QC and R&D. What is QC? QC is nothing but quality control and R&D is nothing but research and development. And next to that is, that is a pollution control. Then human resource, that is HR. Human resource is nothing but whenever you have to do any job, first of all you have to communicate with HR. That is this person particularly playing very important role in the organization of that chemical industry. Then safety measures. These people should be aware of that different safety measures. Then classification of chemical reactions, that we have to see, that is there are mainly two types of chemical reaction, homogeneous reactions and heterogeneous reactions, that we will see in detail afterwards. Next to that is batch and continuous process. What happens in batch process? These raw materials are taken into one lot and products are taken out in the another lot. But in the continuous process, these raw materials are faded continuously and products are taken out continuously. Means we can easily distinguish these two processes by the simple aspects, like in the batch process, profit is less, in the continuous process profit is high. Again in the batch process, that manpower is more because this particular batch process there is no automated equipments are used, but in continuous process manpower is less because there is a use of highly automated equipments and new techniques are used. Batch process it is less expensive as compared to that continuous process is more expensive. Why it is more expensive? Because in this continuous process we have to use the new techniques, that is highly automated equipments. Next to that is conversion selectivity and yield. This conversion selectivity and yield, these are related with the chemical reaction. We will see a simple example. When A and B reacts with each other, there is a formation of C. What this A and B? A and B are the reactants and C it is a product. Means when A and B reacted together, there is a formation of C. Means there is A, B gets converted into C, that is called as a conversion. And what is this selectivity? When A and B reacts together, there is a formation of C without formation of D. Means if it selectively gives our product, that is C, it is called as a selectivity. And what is that yield? Yield is nothing but the actual amount of the product which is formed in any chemical reaction, that is called as a yield. The terms like Copyright Act, Patent Act, trademarks, these are related with the industrial property. Means this copyright, patent are related with the creation of the mind. What this picture indicates that there is a one man and who is that is destroying the weed which is coming into the land. Means this particular technique it is called as a use of fungicides or weedicides to kill the weeds. Means these are the chemicals which are used to increase the crop production and these are called as agrochemicals. We will see in detail syllabus of the agrochemicals. In that we have to see the general introduction, scope of agrochemicals, then meaning and the examples of different terms like insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, rodenticides, pesticides and plant growth regulators. What are these terms? Insecticide, these are that is the chemicals which are used to kill or destroy the insects. Herbicide, what is herb? Herb is nothing but that is a small plant which is that is growing under the big plant. Means whenever these herbs are growing, they are destroying the growth of that is large plant. That is by taking the nutrients from the large plant, they are destroying that large plant. And hence these particular herbs should be killed. And these chemicals which are used to kill herbs, these are called as a herbicide. Fungicides, that is chemicals which are again used to that is destroy the fungus. Rodenticides, rodents are nothing but that is a mice. Then pesticides, that is pest is any again insect which is destroying the plant, that is chemicals again which are used to kill the pest. Then what is PGR? Is nothing but plant growth regulators. There are certain that is enzymes or that there are certain hormones which are required for the plant for its that is growth and that are called as a plant growth regulators. Next to that is pesticide formulation. Means these chemicals which are used for destroying certain that is the insect, herb, that how it is to be formulated, that is called as a pesticide formulation. Then what is this term? That is slow release pesticide formulation. This slow release pesticide formulation is nothing but after applying to the plant that shows its effect after some time. That is called as it release some pesticide after certain time and hence it is called as a slow release pesticide formulation. Again in that chapter we have to see the different tests like storage stability test. What is this storage stability test? It is nothing but this particular insecticide or that pesticide it is having certain expiry date and how we can store that particular pesticide, that is called as a storage stability test. Next to that it is a new term called as the industrial entomology. What is this industrial entomology? This particular entomology term it is related with the study of insect, that is a branch of industrial chemistry which deals with the study of insect. It is called as a industrial entomology. We will see it afterwards. Then again As there are advantages of using agrochemicals, in the same way there are different disadvantages. What will be the disadvantages of agrochemicals? That this particular, that is use of agrochemicals, is destroy the pH of soil, then nutrients of soil, and hence there should be, that is optimum use of agrochemicals for the buildup of the agro products. In that we have to see the certain examples of agrochemicals like DDT, BHC, warfarin, aldrin, endosulfan. What is DDT? DDT is nothing but diphenyl trichloroethane. What is BHC? BHC is nothing but benzene hexachloride. Then again we have to see the synthesis and applications of DDT, BHC and endosulfan. In the same way, that is there are artificial pesticides, that is there is a use of biopesticide also. And what are that biopesticides? That is a neem oil and currenzyl. We will see its importance afterwards. Now comes to the, that is a third chapter. This particular diagram, that is it is a picture of laboratory, and we have seen in laboratory that is a chemicals or chemical bottle which are arranged on the rack, and these particular chemicals, these are called as a basic chemicals, that we have to see, that is a basic chemicals. And that is a third topic, that is a manufacturing of basic chemicals. Now what are that basic chemicals? In our laboratory, that is there are different chemicals like ammonia, NaOH, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. These are of too normal, but first of all they are prepared as a concentrated solutions. Then how they are prepared, that we have to see in detail. That is physicochemical principles involved, that is how many mole proportions we have to use for the preparation of such chemicals. Then manufacturing process and uses of ammonia, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. This ammonia is prepared by the Busch-Haber process, then sulfuric acid it is prepared by the contact process, and nitric acid it is prepared by the Ostwald process. We will see in detail. Again, these pictures, what is the first picture? It is showing that there is a liquid droplet coming from the, now in this picture, that is of petrol, then Vaseline, and third one is, that is a LPG. What is LPG? It is nothing but liquid petroleum gas, and these all are the petrochemical products, that is called as a petrochemicals. Means these are all are the products of the petroleum refinery or petrochemicals. That is a topic 4, petrochemicals and eco-friendly fuels. And what are its contents? That is introduction, occurrence, then what the basic composition of petroleum, what are the resources, then processing of petroleum, how petrol is prepared, then what is the calorific value of fuel, then application of petrochemicals, synthetic petrochemical, and lubricating oils and additives. Then the second section of this chapter is, that is eco-friendly fuels. What is fuels? It is nothing but, that is any source of heat energy, it is called as a fuels. And there are three different types of fuels: solid fuel, liquid fuel and gaseous fuel. We will see in detail while learning this chapter. And then the use of solar energy for power generation. Okay, then next is that by seeing this picture, that shows that these all are the food packets and these are the products of the food industry. That is the fourth chapter, that is the section first, food industry. And this in the second section, that is the starch industry. What is the main source of starch? That is a potato, corn, then jowar. These all are the sources of starch. And this starch and its derivatives, these are used as a food and drink industry, then paper and board, then industrial and bio applications, pharmaceuticals as well as cosmetics, and lastly they are used as animal feeds and pet food. That is the use of starch industry. That is a topic 5, food and starch industry, and what are its contents, that we have to see how that starch and the different foods are preserved and processed. In that definition scope, then nutritive aspects of food constituents, then food deterioration factor. What is that food deterioration factors? Since this food is nothing but organic material, that is it is converted into one form to another form, these all different microorganisms grow on that particular food and it deteriorates that food. Deteriorates, that is that bad smell which is coming onto that particular food after destroying its nutrients, that is called as a food deterioration factors. And we have to see its control also, how we can control that food deterioration. Next to that is preservation and its processing. Why food has the need for preservation? Because these different microorganisms, since they are growing on the food, that should be prevented and hence there is a need of preservation. Next to that we have to see food additives like enhancer, that is which are increasing the, that is the texture then appearance of that food, it is called as enhancer. Sugar substitutes, that is the sweeteners, and food colors. These food colors are the edible food colors which are giving the, that is the attractive color to the foods. In the starch industry, we have to see the basic chemistry of starch, then manufacturing of industrial starch and its application as we have seen in the earlier slide. Next to that is characteristic of some food starch, then non-starch polysaccharides and cellulose occurrence. Now last chapter of that syllabus is, that is a cement industry. In that we have to see cement, we have to see its production, and the second part of that chapter is, that is these all are the different types of glasses. And in the first picture, that is the utensils which are prepared from the glass, these are prepared by the opal glass which is having the heat sensitive property. Next to that, that is a colored glass, these are again the different colors which is prepared. Then third type is, it is a window glass, and last is, what can you say about this last, that we are all using in the laboratory, and these all are made up of borosilicate glass. That is all about the glass industry. Now the contents of cement industry are introduction and its importance, then composition of Portland cement. This Portland, it is nothing but one of the type of cement. We have to see its composition, that is how much quantity or how much proportion is used for making particular cement. Then raw materials, proportioning of raw materials, setting and hardening of cement. What is this setting and hardening of cement? That whenever the cement powder is mixed with water, after certain time it gets hard, and this particular hardening of cement, it depends upon the duration of setting, that is called as a setting and hardening of cement. Then reinforced concrete, that is nothing but a concrete, that is a hard construction which is made up by the addition of steel alloy. Then the last part of that, that is a chapter, that is a glass industry. In that we have to see the general introduction of glass, then importance, then different physical and chemical properties of glass. Again in that we have to see the chemical reactions, that is specifically this glass is not affected by different chemicals, but there is only one chemical which get affected by the glass. Can you imagine that particular chemical? And that is nothing but, that is a hydrofluoric acid. Then annealing of glass. What is this annealing of glass? When glass material or glass proportion, when it is heated, or glass raw materials when it is heated, it converted into the molten mixture, and that particular molten mixture, depending upon its rate of cooling, it get converted into the different shapes, and this particular phenomena, that is cooling of glass, it is called as annealing of glass. In the last we have to see the different types of glasses, And what are that types? First is colored glass that we have seen, then safety glass, hard glass, borosilicate glass which are used in laboratory, optical glass which are used in the goggles, then sunglasses, photosensitive glass, then conducting glass, and last is glass laminates. Thank you all of you. We will really enjoy this all these industrial subject. I am really thankful to Honorable Principal Dr. Iyer sir as well as to the Head of Department Dr. Dubey sir for giving me opportunity for conducting this online lecture. Thank you all of you.